Hello everyone, my name is Morgan Jones and I'm presenting a presentation on milk fever in cattle. This is for class ADSC 4350 and this is our first project. So what is milk fever? Milk fever is also known as hypocalcemia, which is a low amount of calcium in the blood. It is a metabolic disease and 3 to 10% of cattle are affected. That may not sound like a lot, but it is a lot to producers because they put their hard-earned money into each individual cow they have. It occurs mostly in dairy cattle, but it can occur in beef cattle. The reason it occurs mostly in dairy cattle is because the amount of milk they produce and the importance they place in their milk to their calves, which is also important to beef calves. So you see milk fever, most of the cases are around 80% within a day of calving. And this is because when the cows produce milk, they lose a lot of calcium in their colostrum and milk, and this calcium must be replaced. And a lot of cows, the cows affected by milk fever, have a very hard time replenishing this calcium. So, while 80% of milk fever cases happen while the first day the cow is calving, age is also a factor. Mature cows are more susceptible to milk fever because by the 5th or 6th time they calve, the more milk they produce. So the more milk you produce, the more calcium you have to replace. So it can be a hard time for these older cows to replenish their calcium. Diet is also a major component in milk fever. And I cannot emphasize how important diet is. Too much calcium in diet before calving is a very bad thing. And I will explain this in later slides. So what are the signs and symptoms of milk fever? First, you see tremors in the head and limbs, which I've read that it can also be classified as an excitement in the cow. After the tremors, you see sitting, and the cow will sit up like a dog. I couldn't find a picture on that. I'm sorry about that, but they will sit up, and then you notice a kink in their neck, which looks very uncomfortable to the cow. Also, bloat can occur, which it is a secondary effect because when the cow is sitting, gas cannot escape out of the rumen and it becomes trapped in there. So after you see the cow's tremors, sitting, and kink in their neck, you see them lie on their side. And then very shortly after they lie on their side, they have heart issues, coma, and unfortunately death. So how can we treat milk fever? Milk fever can be treated through IV calcium gluconate, and other minerals can also be added to this IV solution, such as glucose and magnesium. This helps repair the cow's immune system and overall bodily functions. So besides the IV calcium gluconate, if you want to prevent milk fever, once again, diet management is extremely important to the cow. So cows should get a great amount of calcium during early lactation, but a very low amount of calcium during their dry period and run up to calving. So you would think in order for the cow to replenish its calcium after they calf, to give them more calcium before they calf, but that is not the case at all. So once again, diet management is extremely important. So why is milk fever important to me? Number one, it's important to me because it's important to producers. Producers put their blood, sweat, and tears literally into their cows, and they don't want anything to happen to them. So if they can prevent something, they're going to. So that leads me into diet management. I wish people would understand how important diet management is to their cows. Also, it is very important to me just because of the health of the cows. You want your cows to be healthy and live a long life full of production. So that is why milk fever is important to me. I'm very thankful for this class that I'm in and all that I'm learning. And I hope you stay tuned for my second project. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.